And welcome to one of my long-awaited programs you guys have asked me about. Welcome to a citizen tutorial for the sheriff. Tonight's going to be the first edition. We're just going to do a little warm-up practical exercise for the sheriff. How to catch an unlicensed general contractor. Citizen tutorial 101. Hint, it's a felony. Bank fraud may be involved. So, you know, we have a lot of construction in the area and lots of issues in the area. And I firmly believe that some of them are because got lots of unlicensed stuff. When's the last time you opened the paper and the sheriff ever arrested anybody for all this stuff we'd be being billed? Are you telling me all of it's legit? So sheriff, you know, I want to have, let's clarify a few things, Mikey, okay? First of all, I'm going to send you a video about the list because you don't know what it is, but that's that list that my name is on, that your bailiffs and the county admin circulate around. I don't know. It's a special treatment list. I'm still waiting. Is it an insider list? Because I don't ever get a check. But anyway, Mikey, you said that we had a talk. And you agreed you shouldn't be involved because you were born in Walton County. BS, Mikey. That wasn't with my lawyer. That was with Johnny Smith. And when your lawyer, I said, you shouldn't be involved because you were friends with all them people. You're related to Clay Atkinson. And one of your best butthole buddies is old Scott Brown himself. In fact, I found those emails of you and Scott breaking Judge Green's order, talking about county business on a private email, and it pissed you off. Then you used Graham Fountain to see if you could sue me for it, remember? But anyway, Mikey, bygones be bygones. You said you didn't have the expertise, so we're going to go like that and teach you how to catch one of these guys, or at least investigate it. And that's what we're going to do. So tonight we're going to start. I'm going to tell you how it started. Just quit asking questions, please. Just close your mouth. Okay. It started that I made a complaint. And the Florida says statute 489-127. I mean, unlicensed contractor could be a misdemeanor, but the case that I'm going to give you today, I think it's got 8 or 9 different cases, and the guy was on notice. But most important, there's you citizens out there can follow along with Mikey at home as we investigate felony unlicensed contracting. Okay, so just look up Florida statute 489.127, Mikey. Y'all following along at home. And there's 9 different ways to commit unlicensed contracting according to Florida statute. Proof of any one violation is sufficient to sustain a conviction, Mikey. So now you kind of know what you got to do. There's 9 things, and there's a couple that this practical exercise has done. And Mike, you can contact my attorney, and we've got all the package, Marie Maddox at maddoxlaw.com. You know Marie, and we've got all this stuff because the state attorney here in the county's got to decide to act on it, Mikey. And y'all probably need to talk about it, or maybe get somebody from Florida, or some of this money might have come out of state. It might require federal. I don't know. But moving on, here's an important part of tonight's lesson, Mikey. When Governor DeSantis made the emergency order declaring the COVID crisis, that was a gubernatorial order. And so when he practiced, if somebody was caught practicing, and that's what I'm alleging, under FS 775.083, you know, if any offense during COVID was automatically a felony. So I'm not wasting your time with this tutorial. I mean, we're talking about a felony. I mean, you're investigating graffiti and making the paper. I think felony contracting, if you don't have a license and borrowing $1 million, Mikey, it might be pretty serious. Maybe we need to set an example here that we don't tolerate in this county. But moving on, that's what we did. So Mikey, all complaints, initially I made an allegation, and I'll get that back to you. So if this is your first time seeing it, Mike, okay, I made this allegation to several of the people at the Walton County Commission, and to Sidney Noyes and Larry Jones, and old Stan Sunday knew about it. And a whole bunch of people wrote them an email and told them about it, and they just didn't look into it. And Tony Corman and Code, they wouldn't look into it. I think they wanted to cover it up. So Mikey, here's your chance in your tutorial. So we're going to talk about, anyway, so I found this, and if you're the person I'm thinking, This guy right here, Mikey, is at 259 Driftwood Point. And I got introduced to this because this is who I think is doing the unlicensed contract. His name is Don Atkins. And I found this in my mailbox one day. You can look him up, and that may be some of the money came from out of state. I don't know. This ain't my website, but somebody informed me of it. But sure enough, he built this and has built some other things. And my neighbors, he built some stuff for them. Now, the thing about it, Mikey, is, listen to me, Mikey. This kind of stuff involves houses worth millions of dollars. And if this guy is not following the rules, and he's supposed to be a general contractor, he's building all the houses around me, Mikey. But the thing was, when I went through the Florida Division of Professional Business Regulation, do you know this guy, Mr. Atkins, that I want you to look into? He don't have a license to even sell anything according to that. So anyway, and then my neighbors started writing me when I sued them and telling them that they didn't know he wasn't a contractor, and he signed contracts and hired engineers, and they've got all the contracts, Mikey, and my lawyers got the emails, and Lord, his name's on there, and and so that's what we've got. We've got the guy on this property, probably, and we seen him certified notice saying don't do it. And he's using other builders that are aiding and abetting him. And Miss Maddox will give you that too about Buchanan and the others. And I believe there's one named Shepherd. And so I think they were assisting, but it was happening over and over. It's not an isolated incident. So let's go recap this, Mikey. Okay. So I've made a complaint. And it's that I've been damaged by unlicensed contract. And we've also got some emails with that same guy's talking to a bank representing himself to be a contractor, get a check from out of state. Anyway, so these are the statutes that may have been broken, Mikey. And Miss Maddox can give you all this information, or the state attorney. We can sit down and have a talk about it. Okay. And so that's the goal, to stop unlicensed general contractors from working in Walton County and getting citizens like me and my neighbors into lawsuits, because we don't deserve to be in that. Maybe if y'all enforce that, we wouldn't have to sue, because it's not a citizen's responsibility to stop felonies, Mikey. It's yours, you. So that kind of ends the lesson. So there's what you need to know about them. There's where they live. That's the statute. That's the goal. And oh, by the way, Mikey, here's the wrench in it. He may have been assisted in executing these felonies by this man, Stan Sunday, in the county. They may have known, this man launched an investigation because he didn't want the code to be told the truth. So he fired an employee and, hey, Commissioner Barker, remember when you wanted to do an investigation or an audit and you needed permission? I don't think you ever got it. Hell, Stan got more power than you, elected official. He just conducted an investigation by hiring an attorney's firm to help him cover it up. And you know who he launched the investigation for? The guy that owns this property, who didn't want to follow the law. So Stan knew, and Sidney Noyes knew, that the guy building this property, this dude, may have been breaking these statutes, but instead they fired the employee who was trying to enforce it, because they knew they couldn't afford to tell the truth. The cover up was worse than the crime. So there you go, Mikey. There's your 4th of July celebration. It's your first tutorial. And I hope you've enjoyed this walk through the law. And if you're like, hey, Mikey, this is this is just a small one. The next one I'll do is $500 million developmental fraud. That'll be the next video. It'll be really interesting. Call me with any questions. Call Miss Maddox for copies of any of this information, or the emails, or the contracts, or pictures, or texts of the communications between these people, and I'll help you out. Well, this is Alan Osborne, and this has been a new special operation. And if they can't get this, they might well shoot themselves in the head, because they can't figure out anything. But another edition of good old boy politics. brought to you by, as always, the Alan Osborne Show. Y'all keep them straight out there. You hear?